What's up, tribe? We are back. Season 5, episode 7. We have something special for y'all today. I'm so excited. And we were just talking, we were prepping, and these episodes just feel and sound like just therapy to us. So we're already feeling good. So we hope wherever you are, go ahead and get in a space where you're ready to feel good, because this is going to be a good one today. So what's up, y'all? How we doing?
Hey,
Good.
Stable.
We here.
Hi.
Feeling good.
I'm on 10, so hopefully y'all match me today. So please. But yeah, let's go ahead and quickly introduce ourselves, and then we'll get to our special guest today.
Hey, y'all. I'm Grace. Hi.
Hey, y'all. Crystal here.
This is Kayla.
This is Sable, obviously. And great. Welcome back to our tribe members who's been rocking with us since day one. Welcome to the new tribe members who this might be your first or a couple episodes in. We just want to encourage everybody to go back and listen to our throwback episodes, listen to the new ones. We have been in a theme of in your 30s this season. And today we are so excited to be diving into wellness in our bodies in our 30s, y'all.
30s, boy.
Somebody who's turning 31 next month. If it's already starting off like this, I need some tips. I'm ready for. I got my notepad ready
for them joints. That's all I got for you.
My goodness, all these old injuries.
Icy hot. Somebody said icy hot. I said it. Icy hot.
What is this? A Shaq commercial?
What?
Hey,
Look,
but it
whatever it
worked.
takes.
It worked.
Anywho, today we are diving into wellness in our 30s and talking about all things eating healthy, taking care of our bodies, doing mental health check-ins, all things taking care of our mind, our body, and our spirits, and what that looks like in this stage of life. And as I just joked, but I'm really serious. I just feel like every season this year has just been either, my body doesn't feel right, I got to get it back to how I want to feel now and not comparing it to the past. And even my mind, my body, my spirit. I know my spiritual welfare right now is like the focus. So, yeah, I'm just really excited for this episode. And, we could talk about it, but we figured having a guest speaker would bring this home. And the guest speaker that we have today, y'all, is I'm already feeling the energy, and I'm so excited. So, Kayla, what's up? Who we got?
I was like, okay, girl, keep going.
Right, I was like, even more excited. Okay, Sable's really in her thing.
Told y'all I'm 10.
So yes, as it was said, we wanted to make sure we added a voice to the room that is someone that's going to speak about this topic in such a great way, such a needed way for us as we sit here and take notes, because I already got my pen and paper out ready to go. But we're introducing Akaira Cryer-Simmons with us today. She is the founder of Mrs. by AK Fitness. Check her out on Instagram. But we're going to get to that later. But she is a wellness coach, a fitness expert, an all-around powerhouse in this space of combining taking care of our physical, taking care of our mental, and by us, I mean Black women, okay? Women of all ages, but this conversation is special to our 30s, of course. I could say a lot more, but I'm so excited for all the goodness that she spreads to come out throughout this episode. So without further ado, welcome Akaira to our episode.
Hey.
That's what we need to boom, 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 boom.
Y'all, I'm smiling so hard. My cheeks hurt. Y'all got me feeling good. I feel good.
Love it.
Yes.
So just introducing myself. My name is Akaira Cryer-Simmons. I like to identify myself as a fitness and self-care coach for busy women, teaching them how to prioritize themselves through a holistic approach with a busy schedule. So right now, as the ladies mentioned, it's our 30s. It's time to lock in. It's time to get that mindset of creating a healthier version of you, so that way you can take care of yourself for the long haul to come. So that's me, guys. Yay.
Welcome, friends.
Thank you. I'm excited.
We're excited. I'm personally excited. I know all of us, I feel like we all have personal reasons why we're very excited for specific things that we see that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, let's just start off with the basics and working out and eating healthy? It's something that we all know that we should do, but actually fitting it into our schedules. I know prioritizing it. Sometimes I'm like, look, Netflix is like, it's just right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. And I just want to chill for a second. I'm overstimulated all day at work. Like this.
Yeah.
So just starting off with our basics, like how would you suggest that we fit it into our busy schedules and we prioritize eating healthy and working out?
So my suggestion would be being mindful about it. A lot of times we think it. If it's on your mind, it's something that you need to incorporate. Finding ways to be accountable, whether it's with your partner, if you have kids, whether it's while you're at work, your coworkers, find ways to help yourself get into that routine. Also make sure that it's enjoyable. So like if you like to dance, incorporate dancing, go do Zumba classes, do step classes, go for a walk. A lot of times we make working out a chore and it doesn't have to be. You make it to where it's realistic for your lifestyle. You prioritize it by making a plan. That's with life in general, with your goals. You make a plan and then you do step by step to execute. So that's the same thing with fitness and eating better. And also with eating, I'm not on a strict diet. I can say that. And I have kids, we eat snacks all day long. But the thing is, in moderation, also, I'll tell myself, let's eat an apple today. And I'll tell my kids, an apple a day, keep the doctor away. So we're all eating apples together. It's not about making it so strict. It's about being realistic, because that's when you can build that healthier habit to sustain it for the long haul, and not just for you, for the people that matter the most. Like I said, my kids.
Well, we could drop the mic right there.
Right.
That was great. Hey.
I was hoping the sound of my pen didn't come through. Sorry. I was like, clicked it on real quick. I'm like,
that was good. Can I admit this? And this is because this is a safe space. So I'm going to admit this, but I hate the gym. I hate it. I hate it. People always be like, oh, you're so fit. Do you work out? No, everybody knows me, knows I eat like a monster. I love food. I went and got a chicken Big Mac the other day because I just wanted to see what it felt like. And it was good. And I liked it. But I do not like working out. So I guess my whole thing is, does it have to be the gym? Like, does it have to be the gym to be healthy fitness? Like me going hiking or doing other stuff, like, is that okay for me to do other things and not be in the gym as a 30-year-old?
Yes. And I would even tell you to think about COVID. When COVID happened, there was no gym. Like, you could not go to the gym. You had to be at home. And that was actually the birth of my brand. I was working out in the garage, putting it on social media and putting it out there. And women would reach out to me and say, hey, do you train? Is there a way that you could send me some workouts? And I'm all about making it convenient. So if you're a busy woman, 9 times out of 10, you don't have access to the gym because it takes extra time to get to the gym. So I always encourage at-home routines. Pull up YouTube, find a HIIT workout, join one of my programs. I'm just saying. And that way
plug it.
Always do something that is convenient for you, because if you got to go out the way to do it, then you could go ahead and count it as a loss. So I encourage you to hike, do your walks. Don't be pressured to go to the gym.
You hear that, people? So stop judging me. All y'all are doing that. So I'm like, you don't go to the gym? No, I don't. I don't go. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, of course.
No, I needed that too. Something you said earlier that I was like, that's so real, because I was just talking to my friends about this, because they were like, we're about to go on an unhealthy diet in a couple of weeks. And I was like, what is an unhealthy diet? Like, we do these fasts every year where we're like trying to take away certain things from our diet. But I'm like, are we really being healthy, or are we just trying to be, what's it called? Dang, there's like a name for it, but like the crash course, like diets. No, we're not trying to do that. So when you say like being realistic and not just being strict, for people who are in their 30s and the things that you used to eat, so that chicken Big Mac that Grace was talking about, how it kind of sits on you a little bit more, like what is the best approach to healthy eating? Like, what if anybody came to you doing your workouts, like, but they want to also be better in like their diet, what would be the best advice that you have for them?
So my advice will always be find substitutions. So let's say you like to eat pasta, you love pasta. Instead of just getting the regular pasta with no protein in it, incorporate the protein pasta. I always buy Barilla. I buy that brand because it has protein in it. Also, when you like to eat, let's say salads, if you want to have a salad, but you prefer the fried chicken, do a mixture of fried and a little grill. Mix it up. Don't make it to where you are being so strict. Also, when it comes down to intake, I always suggest, if we're going to drink, because we all love a little drinky drink, find your drinks that's not mixed cocktails. Go for more of a shot. Tequila. If you're going to add
Oh,
anything to it, go ahead
perfect.
and add like a club soda, but along the lines of ice. The brand Ice is
Mhm.
0 calories, 0 added sugar. You got your drink, you got your alcohol, but it's not high in calories. So, just finding substitutions, because again, realistic is for the long haul. A lot of times when we cut ourselves off or go cold turkey in a better sense, then once you come off of being cold turkey, you self-sabotage and you overindulge. And that's what you
Yeah.
don't want. You want to keep it consistent. You want to be mindful in moderation and substitution. So that's always my suggestion. I'm not expecting you to eat salad and carrots all day long. That's just not real. And that's
No.
not going to get you results. I'm just saying.
And I'm having attitude. So
Exactly.
Right. Because
Mhm.
I'm still hungry.
Exactly.
I need
Like
to
the
eat.
salad was cute and all, but I'm still hungry. Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed crying.
Yeah.
I
What?
think
No,
that's
you go to Big Mac
Mhm.
and get you a Big Mac.
You go to
Now, one
McDonald's.
thing
that
I
chicken
will
Big Mac.
suggest, on top of that though, with my programs, I incorporate intermittent fasting, but
Mhm.
it's not just intermittent fasting, we spiritual fast.
Mm.
So we're dedicating that time of not putting any solids in our body to God. So it's like you're doing it with a purpose. It's not just doing it. And so when you come off of your fast, then you break your fast with a protein shake and then start incorporating the solids again. But that's another way, to help with a healthier eating, and it's not so strict, because now you're putting God in the mix. You're going to show up for God. So let's go ahead and do it. Fast, break your fast
100%.
at like 12:30, drink your little shake and get back to your solids. So that's another suggestion.
That's a good
100%.
one.
Ooh, okay. The intermittent fasting. So
Mhm.
what is the health benefits of doing that? Like, how does that work? And then what is the timing that comes with that as well?
So it's different time frames that you can intermittent fast. The one that I choose that we have been doing with my challenges, we start at 6 a.m. and it ends at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so with that, we are fasting from not only solids, but a lot of times distractions. Social media could be removed as well.
Ooh.
And it helps with mental clarity. You feel less bloated, you have more energy. I could go on and on about the benefits of intermittent fasting. And then of course, make sure it's suitable for your lifestyle. Because if you're about to be busy, like, training, running, doing all type of crazy activities from 6 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., I don't suggest it, because then you'll pass out,
Yeah.
So just want to be realistic about it. But if you can incorporate it, then just be mindful. If you need to add a smoothie in the mix, go ahead and add a smoothie. But when I say I feel so much better, I don't bloat as much. I'm not as cranky. I have more energy, and my body naturally is accustomed to it, that I'm naturally doing it day to day. And we honestly intermittent fast because we're busy. A lot of times we probably don't even eat till 1 o'clock
Right.
with a busy
Right.
routine. So you
Well,
technically intermittent fasting, but intentionally intermittent fasting is,
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, Lord, you're pulling that Beyonce diet. Beyonce, I remember, said she was working so hard she
Oh.
didn't eat. I'm like, girl, I don't know if I don't know if that could be me. I don't know. But you brought up a good point about the clarity that comes with just like tapping in and being disciplined. And that made me just think about the mental health aspect as well of all of this. So what do you say about like doing mental health check-ins throughout the day? I know you talked a lot about habits and setting up your day and routine and all that. So what about some mental health check-ins that you have advice on or that we could do to add to our routine?
Yes, of course. So I am big on meditating. I pull up YouTube for everything. I sit
Lord,
in
me
my closet. I
Mm.
upload something on YouTube and I meditate, because my closet is my safe space.
Mm.
Especially with having two little kids, I try to meditate before they wake up, because it's war zone once they get up. It's literally like nonstop. Okay. So I have to gather myself, collect myself. Also, another thing that I would suggest is putting timers on your phone. So set a timer for 10 a.m., 12, 3 p.m., 7 p.m. And then when it goes off, mentally check in with yourself. Say, hey, how do I feel? Do I feel okay? Am I angry? Am I happy? Am I sad? And then when you do this religiously, then you could kind of track how you're feeling on a day to day. And then that'll determine, hey, I need to get help because I'm sad every day at noon. I'm upset before I go to bed, So that is another way to kind of tune in and check mentally how you're doing.
You saying you going in the closet reminded me of that movie. I don't know if y'all saw it, but The War Room.
War room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yes,
knew exactly what you're
Easy
talking
yes.
about.
fryer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Exactly
gosh.
where he's going with that one.
That's one of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it in years, but
Same.
every time I watched it, I would cry. And you saying that, I was like, dang, like I want a space like that in my house to just close off, close it, put my little post-it notes, write my scriptures, say my prayers. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that movie, sorry, I don't want to go off track, but that movie right there, I'll
So
never forget
good.
when I watched it. And she has a book called Fervent Prayer that's connected
Ooh.
to it. And it's that I actually need to probably reread that.
Let me write that down too.
Is this on Prime or Netflix? Because I've never seen this movie.
It should be.
Girl, it was so old. It was on DVD. I feel like
Probably
when I
on
saw
YouTube.
I saw it in FCA. I couldn't even tell you. I was with people.
High key is probably on YouTube, but I know they're coming out with another one.
Yes.
And the grandma is in it.
Okay.
I don't remember her name, but it was the famous grandma. in
Oh,
that.
from the Jeffersons? Not the Jeffersons.
Not Florence. No.
So back to the
So we need to create our own war rooms too. It sounds like we need to create our own spaces. Y'all are
Yes.
yes. I'm trying to get my mental right, and y'all playing about the Jeffersons. And I've never seen that show either.
Yes, the War Room. Yeah, we'll have to watch that as a group, our next retreat. But to your point, like I think that's so good, just have that space to meditate. I've been trying to get into meditation and stuff. I do like 5 minutes sometimes, but I just shut my office door, close my eyes, and pray no one knocks, because it's just you need that time throughout the day.
Yeah. So what would you say for, like, I'll give an example. Working with, I'm a learning specialist, so I work with students all day long. They're in and out. I'm about to transition where they'll be in and out my office all day long. How do you still do that? Like, how do you still check in with yourself when you have a job where people are constantly like around or by you? Like, what would you say to do?
So my suggestion on that would be you would have to step away briefly, not long. It's also something that you can do called the 4-4-4 pattern. Did I say 4 4s? Did I say 4 4s? I hope I did. 4-4-4-4. Yes. So with that, you inhale big for 4 seconds. You hold it for 4 seconds. You exhale big for 4 seconds, and then you reset for 4 seconds. And with that, you do it for 3 to 5 minutes. It doesn't take long to complete, but it's something to gather yourself. You don't realize how tense you are, how anxious you could be until you go and you do that routine and you feel a big release, a big sigh. Another thing is if you could step out to the car real quick, just go to the car. You'll go to the car and let out the biggest scream you can. I did this driving home the other day, and when I say it just seemed like everything just fell off my shoulders. And when I say scream, I mean scream like somebody is after you. Scream, like just let out a big scream, and then it helps you kind of reset and gather yourself. So that's 2 different things that you can do that I myself implement.
Okay. I like the 4-4-4. The girls know I always scream. So like no problem. But I like the 4-4 thing. I like that, and I definitely want to incorporate work.
So you talked about just I like the 4-4. I was writing that down and just trying to take note because I feel like I need a lot of like big breaths, especially when I'm at work, or just to like lots of breathing techniques. But when it comes to burnout, I feel like we talk about that a lot. That comes up, work-life integration, work-life balance, but burnout is very real. And so with the different ways of like how you can like center yourself, is there other ways that we as women can like combat burnout before it gets to us, or like find things that are like symptoms that makes us aware of it?
As you talking, I'm just like this. Yes, I'm ready to answer. I'm like, yes, rocking in my chair. Yes. Okay. So for me, this is what I talk about with my resetters. I call it my resetter community with my ladies. We're called resetters. But I help them identify boundaries. I help them identify what they value. I help them identify non-negotiables. And I talk about the importance of getting sleep and managing your stress. So a lot of times as women, we'll say, oh, I have boundaries. Okay, if I ask you right now, tell me what your boundaries are. Can you tell me? So when you sit down and you write it down, and this has to be regarding work. When you're at work, I cannot take phone calls after 3 p.m. I cannot talk to a patient, a client, longer than 10 minutes.
Mm.
I need to take a lunch break at noon and I'll be back at 12:30 uninterrupted. So in the workplace, we have to find that work-life balance at work and at home. You know, it's not just at home, at work as well. And so I encourage my ladies to create boundaries, to stand on their boundaries, to make sure that they're going home and getting the proper number of hours of sleep, which is at least 7 hours. Because if you're depleted when you get up, how can you successfully show up as your best self? Managing stress is tuning into those boundaries, non-negotiables, and what you value. So, and once you outline that, you know who respect you and who don't. It's just, you got to stand on it. So that's what I suggest.
Ooh, Lord. I'm like, yeah, I never thought.
That B word. Woo, that B word.
The call out was when she was like, we be talking about it, but if I ask you right now with boundary, like, dang, don't do
We all were like, please don't
I
ask
was like,
for real. Like,
I never thought about
boundaries.
Boundaries, the B word.
I never thought about like writing them out, like simple in a simple way, like being able to like write them out throughout the day, or how you want your day to go, how you like your day to go.
Like a boundary for me, I don't take phone calls before 9 a.m. unless it's my mom, my husband. That's it. We can't talk. We don't have anything to talk about. And everybody I know, I'll text them politely. Hey, I could text you now, or I'll call you back after 9. And that's just what it is. That's a known boundary for me. I don't have anything to talk to you about. I'm trying to get myself together, get my kids to school.
Amen.
I can't talk to you about anything
right now.
Yeah.
I feel like you're sorry, go ahead, Grace.
No, I was saying that was good.
I feel like you're kind of going into my next question, like my curiosity of balancing personal life, family, career. I feel like there's so much toggling that happens. Like this past year, for me, a lot of family, my parents, and some health stuff, and then getting married, and other things and other developments. Like there's just this constant like toggle between work and life and like all these things. But I think about the difference between my 20s and the 30s, where in my 20s I thought like, and it was real, the feelings were real. However, looking back, I'm like, girl, you did not have as much at stake as you do now. And so just, can you talk about that transition of like just seasons from, you know, one season of your life to another, maybe your priorities shift? Like, how do you manage juggling all the things? You kind of just went into it with your boundaries, but can you tell a little bit more about that?
Now, I will say, as I mentioned, having kids, they're the ones that kind of get away with my boundary lines. They could kind of hop all over them, okay? They hop all over them, and I just have to be like, Lord, have your way. But I will say that the difference between my 20s and my 30s, before having kids, I was a free spirit. I did what I wanted. I didn't care about bills. I didn't care about expenses. It was just me that I'm taking care of. I get married. I have kids. Now it's more than myself that I have to consider. So when it comes down to saying that I'm balancing, I wouldn't be honest if I said I have a balance. You know, I feel like life is going to always throw something at you, whether it's your finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's your health, you know, fitness. But my thing is giving yourself grace. No matter what it is, give yourself grace and always aim to show up 1% better than you did the day before. Because it's never going to be perfect. Never, you know, and you're going to always have something testing you or challenging you. And all you try to do is just show up the day better than you did the day before. So I wouldn't even tell you, because I'm all about being realistic. And that's why I think the women that I'm attached to or tied to, we all relate. We're not trying to live this perfect life. We're trying to just show up as best as we can. And if I could do something better today, a little bit than I did yesterday, then that's all I'm looking to achieve. But 30s, I care. 20s, I didn't. So that's the difference.
I like that.
That's the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
That 1%.
Amen.
Wow. That just hit me. Like, I almost even want to just write on a card, like just show up as best you can every day. Because I just think about, there's just some days I wake up and whether it's a workspace that I just don't feel like getting into, I know what I'm going to have to manage there, or if it's like a conversation or just managing something at home, like it can just feel so overwhelming and stressful and almost like a paralysis, like,
I'm right there with you.
So I don't know. That was just when you said that, it was very free. It just felt very freeing. Like just show up the
Natural,
best that you
yeah.
can. Yeah.
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 And realistic, like you said, like I think that's real
Yeah.
to just be able to show up and not try to do too much. Also, to add in there, how do we do that without feeling guilty, I guess? Because I know sometimes I feel like if I'm overwhelmed at work and I need to step away or something like that, sometimes I do feel guilty. Like I'm like, okay, maybe I'm disappointing the student, or I know they need me, or even with family, sometimes family stuff can be a lot. But how do you just say like, no, I can't, I don't have the capacity without, as women, I feel like we want to carry everyone's burdens and we feel the responsibility to, but how do we prioritize ourselves, our mental health without feeling, I guess, guilty about it, if that makes sense?
It makes sense. So what I suggest is doing a daily to-do list, right? So when you make that daily to-do list, you prioritize it from top priority to least priority. Now, if something kind of comes into the mix, you kind of just intertwine it wherever it needs to fall in place. But as you checking off your list, it goes from top to least. And that's how you decipher what you want to tend to that day. Whatever can roll over to the next day, better roll over to the next day. Because a lot of times we stress our own selves out. And, you know, we feel like we're disappointing somebody or letting them down. But a lot of times we're not, you know. So whenever you look at that list and you see where it aligns, and that's how you respond. If it can go to tomorrow, let it go to tomorrow. Don't stress about it, you know. And we really stress ourselves out as women. We do, because we always think we have to save everybody, and we don't, you know. We put ourselves in that space, not the people. We do. So yeah, use that list, check it off. Hey, tomorrow, I got you tomorrow. My cousin texted, she said, hey, did you do that? I said, I'll do it next week. I'll hit you up when it's done. You can wait, boo. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I got you. But just hold
I
on.
got you, but it's gonna happen this week. It's not happening today or tomorrow because I have a lot on my plate. So I'll text you when it's done. You know. So yeah, it's a shimmy shimmy.
You try to get it off and you're like, oh,
when the tea is just too good.
Well, my students do this a lot. Okay, piping tea. Yeah,
I knew.
Like, bro,
I'm gonna start doing it. I know. Is that what the kids do nowadays?
Yes, they did that to me. They were like, okay, tea. Okay, the
they
tea.
be saying clock
Creamy.
Yes,
there she go.
Clock it. I'm like, what is
I haven't seen this.
TikTok showed me.
I look so old. I was like, clock what? They're like, it. This. I was like, oh gosh. Okay. Anyway,
I just got the heart thing down that they be doing. I gotta learn something else.
Yeah, my student did that.
They
to me.
believe.
Don't you ever put your gang sign? And they said it's worse.
Talking about my bad. Here you go.
She said, don't you throw gang signs.
It's all love. I said, what is this? Anyways. Okay, so we also know with just wellness, sleep is very important. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Before I got on this call, I was sleeping all day today. I just love sleep. There's sometimes where I'm like, maybe I'm getting too much sleep, or what's the right balance? Because I feel like I'm just always tired every time I wake up. So I guess when it comes to managing stress or just like wellness in general, is there a magic number for sleep, or what does that look like? And what advice do you have for us?
So based on studies and based on my research, at minimum 7 hours is what you should aim to get on a night, you know, a daily regimen of sleep. I will suggest that when you go to bed, before going to bed, we like to scroll on social media. No scrolling, at least 30 minutes prior to bed. Remove scrolling from social media, because that you're looking at is going to be in your head when you go to sleep. Another thing that I would suggest doing is listen to ocean waves. Myself and my kids and my husband, we put on the ocean waves, and that's how we sleep to get rest. Because a lot of times you sleep, but you don't rest. So that's probably why you're waking up tired, because you're going to sleep with a lot in your mind. You're not necessarily resting. You're just sleeping, eyes closed, and your brain is probably, you know, thinking about everything you got to do when you get up. So try to make sure that you're resting. Remove distractions. If your phone is going to go off, plug it up on your nightstand that's not on this side of you, but across the room from you. You know, find ways to remove the distractions before going to bed, because then you're not getting ample sleep or rest like you need to get. So 7 hours, and implement those tips to help you.
I love that. Yeah, I have been trying to do that, and I've taken a few steps backwards on it. I think if I move my phone across the room at 9:30 when my bed little reminder goes off on my phone.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my God, I just need to watch another video on TikTok, which turns into 30 minutes, turns into 45, and then I can't go to sleep. Anyway, I think those are helpful bits of a routine. Do you have any other suggestions on what to add to our bedtime routine for the routine girlies such as myself, who I just like want to know the best way to set up my evening before I even get into bed?
Okay, so I would suggest, if you aren't a lady that likes to work out in the morning, do some type of activity later in the afternoon, because it'll help you get that great rest. You will definitely comatose, knocked out. Okay. Outside of that, incorporate some stretching when you take your bath. Use some Epsom salt. You know, they have the scrubs, the body scrubs, scrub your body. So it give you that ultimate relaxation before getting ready for bed. So that's some tips that I incorporate for myself when my kids are not in the bathroom with me, of course. Mommy, when are you getting out? Can I get in with you? I'm like, please, can I just have this moment to myself? But yes, I like to scrub my body. You know, I feel good. I feel revitalized, and I'm ready to get a good night's rest. So stretching, if you can, work out or just do some movement. Also using the Epsom salt, and, you know, go to bed. Oh, and don't eat heavy. Don't eat heavy, because that's gonna be on your chest. Okay, do not eat heavy. I would suggest, if you're going to have something later in the afternoon at nighttime, maybe like a smoothie or some fruit or something light, versus a whole meal at 10 p.m. because it's going to sit in your chest. We're 30, we're not 20, so we gotta be mindful. The digestive ain't digesting like it used to.
Amen. I used to eat whatever I wanted, whatever time I wanted. However, like, it don't matter. I can't do that anymore at all.
Yeah.
I cannot.
There's a lot of things that ain't hanging the way they used to.
No, not at all.
There's a lot.
Like, we 60, we just 30.
But they feel like it though. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
So you just touched on your kids being in your space, and you've just ingrained like working around motherhood throughout the episode. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, I'm very curious about just adjusting to motherhood, changing your approach to physical and mental wellness, and like honestly just anything that comes to mind with incorporating, and even like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of going off of just some curiosity things, but even how that's influenced them to take care of themselves as well. So I'm just very curious about what the motherhood piece has looked like for you.
So in regards to myself, taking care of myself, taking care of my kids, motherhood, I would say, even when it came down to entering motherhood, I was already an active individual. And so as I entered motherhood, my mindset was, let me try to show up for me, like I said earlier, as best as I can. Prior to having my oldest, you know, I wanted to make sure that I took the quality time out, not only with my partner, but with myself, you know, making sure that I'm pouring into me, I'm eating the nutritious things that's going to help me out once she arrives. And then once the second one came, that was a whole nother ball game. Like, I was dealing with the morning sickness, but I still went for daily walks. I still stretched. I still made sure that I incorporated an active routine, because I still have my older one, you know, I want to be active with her. I don't want to be tired all the time, you know? And so that routine, her seeing me either when I was training, I literally was still training up until the month that I had my youngest. And my clients would, they gave me grace. I would be laying down watching them do the exercise, eating Cheetos. And the fact that I still showed up that far along in my pregnancy, my daughter would come and watch me train. Like, now she gets up, Mommy, let's do some squat jumps. That's what she called them. She don't call them jump squats. She said, let's do some squat jumps.
Love it.
We're all active. Today, earlier in the living room, we were playing soccer. We have a goal set up, you know, so it's things that I do. I make sure that I let them see it, because now they're building a healthy habit unknowingly. They just know that they saw mom do it. So they see mom do it, and they're going to do it as they become young adults and adults. As a kid, I didn't see that. The only exercise that we had in New Orleans is PE and second lines. Okay. So
hey, that's fun though.
It is fun. And now I'm happy to be an adult and reverse it, because I have my mom exercising with me. My grandmother is coming to my classes and walking, you know, so I reversed it. And now I'm teaching my girls a healthy habit by just introducing it to them and doing it with them. But it wasn't always easy. I will say that with my youngest, after I had her, I experienced postpartum depression. And that was something that kind of took a toll on me, of course, mentally and physically, because not only was I irritable, but I was also eating my problems away, but didn't realize that that's what I had going on. And so as you enter motherhood, it's so many different stages. You may experience something, you may not. And then you may think that it wouldn't happen to you. And that was me. And it happened to me. So with the postpartum depression, it took community along with my faith to get me out of it. And I noticed it only because, like I said, when you notice that you're irritable, like that time clock that I told y'all about earlier, I'm always irritable. My husband get off and he did me absolutely nothing. I was just mad. I was angry. Like, why would you, like, nagging. And so, and I'm eating a whole bag of M&Ms, sitting down, pumping. And I'm like, girl, what is going on? I know it's more to this than. So, yeah, I would definitely say with motherhood, you have the challenges, but you also have the rewards, and you have to create those healthier habits, and you have to be in tune with yourself to realize what is happening to you and how it affects those around you. So, yeah, I hope I answered everything because I kind of went off. I just got a little.
No, that's so
Just wanted to
good.
give y'all
No,
some tea
please.
clock that
Yes.
tea.
Keep going if you want.
Classy girl.
Really good. So just to piggyback on that, how does a mom, like a new mom, recognize signs of like postpartum too? Like, how do you know if that's something that's happening to you, or if like something where you need to go and see if need to ask, ask for help, ask for more support? Like, what are the signs?
And the thing is, it's crazy to say, but it's the truth. They intertwine because fatigue is a symptom, right? You're going to be tired because you had a baby. Irritability, you're going to be irritable because your body isn't the same as what it used to be. So you're probably disgusted, which I was disgusted. I mean, I'm just being honest. I wasn't happy with the way that my body looked, even though I was grateful that I was able to experience birthing a child. I just wasn't happy with myself. So initially I was thinking that, I'm just dealing with emotions, but as you go to your OBGYN, they always ask questions, do you feel like you want to hurt yourself? Do you feel like this? Are you always irritable? And when I'm checking off, like I'm always irritable, I didn't want to hurt myself, but I was angry all the time and I couldn't explain why. That right there allowed me to know that something is going on more than I was willing to admit or even just recognize. And so, I could have just said, oh, that's just a part of it, but it really wasn't. So it's different symptoms that, women experience. Everybody is different. But for me, it was definitely irritability. I was just disgusted all the time. And so that was my cues, like something isn't right, because even like months after, I was still the same way. I probably was about 6 months postpartum when I realized that's what was going on. It's about being honest with yourself with that journey too, because we could say, I'm okay. We trying to be superwoman. I'm fine. Nothing is wrong with me. Yeah, no, I was going through it. And like I said, it took community and prayer and to get me out of that space. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, women are just so strong. As you're saying all that, I'm like, man, women, I'm so grateful to be a woman, to like have this experience, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we're so strong, and like hearing other women talk about things they've been through and things that I haven't experienced that yet, but like I can't wait to have kids. But that does scare me a little bit of like knowing that could be on the opposite side. But to just hear you talk about that, it's like, wow, like it just makes me excited for it too, just being able to experience motherhood or whatever. And then to know that we're strong enough to get through it. Cause especially Black women, like all women, but Black women, we just experience so much. And I don't know, just to hear you having got through that and like what you went through is really, really, I feel like lucky to have heard that story.
And I say community, and I just want to say that just a little bit more. Like I'm going to say about 5 more times: community, 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 community. Whether it's your girl circle, like y'all have StartHERfive, whether it's your sisters, your mom, whether it's organizations where you have women that you trust, you need community. As Black women, we feel like everything is, I can get through it, I can do it, I can handle it, but you really need community. If I didn't have community that noticed the difference in me, like I noticed it, they held me accountable. that's where community stepped in. They held me accountable. Akira, you're off. You know, check into that, you know. And I'm crying and stuff too. And they're like, girl, you don't even really cry from people like that. What is going on? You know, you need that accountability. So always community, like community and faith. Faith first, then community. But yes.
My notebook, I don't know about y'all, but my notebook is
Your head was down. She was
yeah,
right.
my head been down. My head's been down. I've been writing things down just because I think like thinking about community, and I know most of us have moved for our jobs. I don't know, maybe twice, then 2 times, 3 times since we started StartHERfive. And yeah, just depending on the person, 2 to 3 times. But I think like part of moving in the process, and I'll give props to all of us just in our different seasons, is like finding that community again, you know, in the different transitions of different things. And so I don't know, I think just in general, whether it is you're expecting, you're already a mother, whether you're that's a dream or like a vision for yourself, but even just in your 30s, like how important community is, and for people to really know you, like know your patterns, know how you typically show up. And I just think like that is something for me personally, what I'm taking away is like to continue to pray for is just, I have an amazing community, whether it's here on the screen, whether it is people that are 2 hours away, people at home, people spread around. But I think like it's just so important to like continue to grow your community and people who are there for whatever phases in life. So I'm just reflecting like just how important community has been for each one of us, but how it needs to continue to be a priority going into our 30s and just like being prepared for the next stages of life. So I really appreciate you for sharing that, because I'm over here just writing things down. I'm writing a prayer list. I'm doing all kinds of stuff over here. So yes, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
That's real. And my next question was literally talking about like vulnerability and just asking for help in general. And I feel like you touched on it in so many different ways. I love the 5 words: community, 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 community. Like you're so right. Like faith and then community. Like that's so important. And I think that's the main reason why we like started this podcast, was to build community, not only within ourselves to get like stronger. Because yeah, when we started this, we were in our 20s, and now we're growing up and seeing different parts of our lives. And so we want other tribe members to also find people within this talk so that they can build with. But I'm thinking I'm just like you, reflecting, because to me, I was like, what makes it so hard for people to be vulnerable and ask for help, or just like know that there's people out there that's looking out for them? And I know for me, if it wasn't for y'all, like I wouldn't have been going into therapy like I am now. Like love my therapist, she's amazing. But even with that, like you never think that you have things that's off about you until you actually go and talk to a professional who's like uncovering that and helping you to work through it. Because it's one thing to talk to your girlfriends about life, but they know you. So they're able to pick apart some of the things like, hey, maybe this is not adding up. And you're easy to say, oh, they don't know. But when you have someone who actually doesn't know you and says the same thing that they're saying, I think it hits a little bit different. But if you have any advice for our tribe members of like, how do we as like the Black community or just women in general advocate for why it's okay to be vulnerable? I just would love to know. I don't know. I don't even know if there's like a call out or just like, y'all, it's okay to not be okay.
Pretty much, I would just say it always go back to that showing up 1% better than you did the day before. My mentor, she told me that when I was in a program for my business, and when she said it, I was like, that applies in real life, not just my business. Like, you know, she was saying it business wise, and I took that and I ran with it. So, you know, even when I thought that was a part of the message that was sent to me from you guys about showing up 1% better, I'm like, we are in alignment, because that's how I live on a day to day. But my tips and overall would be just showing up 1% better than you did the day before, giving yourself grace. Know that you are not a perfectionist. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have hiccups. And as a resetter is a woman who aims to improve herself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually while giving herself grace. That's what a resetter stands for. And so, yes. So a resetter is a busy woman that is looking to improve herself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually while giving herself grace.
Mm. Well, all of us.
It was all in solidarity.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Wow.
I need that. Like,
was
I'm gonna write that on my board. We
Yeah.
need to get shirt. You need
Reset
to
it
make
for
a
sure.
shirt and I'll wear it.
Listen, I'm
But
already trying to get them out
for
there.
sure. I'm proud of
but
that.
That's what I preach with my brand. And so like when I saw that y'all gave the opportunity to talk about holistic fitness, self-care and stuff like that, I was like, this is perfect. This is me. This is what I do all day, every day. And you know, a lot of times when you join fitness programs or you're a part of a fitness organization, of course, there are some that caters to women, but it's not the accountability or it's not the approach of making sure that the women feel okay with having shortcomings or setbacks. You know, in my program, you could have a horrible day. You could have had that chicken Big Mac that Grace was talking about. You could have had a Coke. You could have slept for 10 hours. CP was saying, I'm giving you a nickname,
I
girl.
love that.
CP.
That's what we
Like
call
she
it.
was
That's what
saying,
they call me.
but you come to that group and we say, it's okay. We try again tomorrow. You know, we try tomorrow. So then you showing up 1% better than you did the day before because trash yesterday. It was horrible. Trash. But today, yep. Shoot,
Kobe.
but yes, but today we're gonna do better. We're gonna go ahead and just get us some water. We're gonna make sure that we speak affirmations. We're gonna manifest. We're gonna have a better day. So that's why my resetter community is realistic. It's for women like us that want to do better and we're looking to do better, but we need grace.
I feel like it's so impactful, especially from us on the call who are recovering perfectionists. I feel like that's so good. And it's so good, especially for the Black community too. I don't think I grew up hearing about wellness being a holistic view of wellness. I thought it was you worked out, you played your sport, but to know that the mental goes into it, the sleep goes into it, the eating all flows through it. And my perfectionist mind that I continually try to quiet is like, okay, you had a day. I ate a whole thing of bread yesterday. I said not a whole loaf. It wasn't that big, but you know, it was a little too big to eat the whole thing. But anyway, that was yesterday. Those are the carbs that I got yesterday. Today will be less. So just the grace that is given with that. I just reset her. Like I love that. I'm obsessed.
I feel like I just need this whole episode has just been like a deep breath. It feels like like
I have so much notes.
so many notes. And I don't know, just we really appreciated this. I'm just gonna speak this. This is not gonna be the first nor the last time we partner and we work on things, just because of what you're saying and with alignment. Like as soon as you said 1% better and just certain things that you've been saying,
that's our thing.
We're like, she knew. She on it.
So yeah, this has been amazing. And yeah, I'm almost at loss for words, and they know that's very rare because I can talk. But anywho, just to wrap up the episode, we've covered so much today from a standpoint of physical wellness to mental wellness, even from a diet standpoint, not necessarily trying to be so strict, but being realistic, adding, I love adding to what we love already. So like I am a pasta person, so adding grilled chicken or some sort of protein to what we're already doing, going into like just making sure that we're managing our stress and having those resets and just making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Like for me, a takeaway is that there's no excuse to not take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of your kids, your partner, anything like that. So this has just felt like a breath of fresh air, and just being like very real and realistic about what we go through as women, and that we need to talk about more. Like we just need to normalize a lot of things, just with a lot of stuff that we talked about. So those are my takeaways real quick. Before we get to your takeaways, just things that you want to leave our listeners with. Crystal, Grace, Kayla, how you feeling? What you picking up what I'm feeling here?
I am, and I'm going to sleep 7 hours with my ocean music.
What?
I
literally just
put my
downloaded
phone in the living room. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the living room. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my butt to my bed. And I'm gonna take a good bath before I get in the bed. And I'm going to have a peaceful sleep, because I've been thinking every time I've been sleeping, when you said that, you're like, we sleep, but then we don't rest. My mind is gone. Like I watched a serial killer documentary before. I was
I watched it. We probably watched one, Grace, because that's me too, girl.
Bro, I watched the new Netflix, but it's just like you have a point. Like, if we want to have a good sleep, we want to be at peace, it's all in what you put into yourself. It's all in what you put. So I need to definitely do some reevaluating about what I'm putting in. Chicken bacon neck. So
Give yourself grace.
I really
Yes, there
appreciate
you go,
it, 'cause
Grace.
you made it. I know I'm chicken big mad, but you made it realistic and you made it achievable, because I was very overwhelmed about the changes I know I need to make, but now I feel like it can be done. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Just takeaways for our listeners, just to summarize, if there are 5 things, 5 takeaways that Akaira, that you want our tribe to take away, what would they be?
I would definitely say I don't even have 5, because what I'm about to say is going to sum it up.
Yes,
That's
that works
fine.
for us.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
So, okay, I got you. Be intentional about pouring into yourself. And that's really as simple as it gets, you know. When you prioritize yourself, you're intentional. When you're doing it for yourself, you have to be intentional. Just like you do it for others, like your job, your partner, your dog, you are intentional. So have that same effort about you. That's really all I got. Be intentional about pouring into yourself.
Wow. Yes,
That's a
man.
caption right there.
That's a sentence that's so big, because like you said, so many things come from that. If you're intentional with yourself, imagine not only what you're doing for yourself, what you're doing for everyone around you, everything around you, every goal around you, all that.
Intentional. I literally did a post today and I said, I am prioritizing pouring into me intentionally. And that means, of course, you know, my kids are going to holler, but I'm going to go in this closet for like 5 minutes and shut off. You know, of course, I got to get up a bit earlier to get a quick workout in for 15 minutes, but I'm going to do it because I know how it helps me feel. So I'm intentional about me because I know how it impacts everything else around me. So yeah.
Just show up the best you can.
Yep.
Be intentional. Yeah. What's that? What do we do, Crystal? What?
That tea.
Clock that tea.
Okay. Got it. I'm gonna hurt myself.
Also, it's not drop it, it's clock it.
I'm screaming.
Got it. Because I was like, this isn't dropping tea, but okay.
It's I don't know where the clocking is, but apparently this is clocking. Yes, clocking.
I think I'm gonna stay in my lane, but I'm gonna know what it means.
Yeah.
I'm gonna know.
So if you say when you go and make those connections and consult, if a student out of nowhere says, "Oh, she really dropping tea," and they do this, then you're not gonna be like, "What you pinching for?" Like, you're gonna
is there a bug? What's happening?
Your bug is crazy.
Nobody clapping no more. They just go.
Y'all got bugs in here.
Y'all got bugs. What's going on?
She got bugs.
Well, Akaira, thank you so much for being a guest speaker, but also just pouring into us. We really do. I mean, this is for our listeners, but it's also for us. And our theme this season is 1% better, and just focusing on being 1% better in our 30s. And I don't know about y'all, but perfection isn't a thing, but if there's something close to it, that's you. And coming on this episode and this timing. So thank you so much. I know I looked it up, and by the way, War Room is on YouTube, and it is full movie on YouTube. You can watch it. So get your War Room on, y'all. If you need a little inspiration to make sure that we can find our prayer closet, just that space. Make sure we're being intentional about taking care of ourselves and just show up the best that you can. And when you drop merch, just let us know, because
please.
Can I tell the people where they can find me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes.
Tell people about your wherever we can find you, all the things. Let's go.
Send it to us so we can make sure we also
know where to find you.
Okay. So I am located in Arlington, Texas. Out here I do pop-up Zumba and line dance classes, but online I offer the 21-day programs, which is called the Holistic Reset. So everything that I spilled is things that I pour into my ladies that sign up for my programs. These are monthly programs. So of course we have the 21 days where we go at it, you know, and just accountable in a group me, but then you have that 1 week to reset and give yourself time to breathe, and then we go at it again. So I have a website, www.mrsbyakfitness.com, and the by is an X, what you can see on my shirt. Can y'all see my shirt?
Yay.
All right. On my shirt, on Instagram, it's the same thing, Mrs. X AKFITNESS, and then on LinkedIn, Akaira Cryer-Simmons. So yeah, I love to connect and help you reset.
Ooh, I love that. Yes. What credit card? When it's time, it's time.
What?
Ladies, assemble. We buying the shirt.
Right. Right.
Credit card will be okay. We'll figure it out.
Right. Well, this has been dope. We will make sure that you are that you're recognized, that people know where to find you outside of this episode as well. And we are going to be following, and I'm just excited. I already know it's just more people are going to be exposed to your impact and everything that you had to share. So we appreciate you. And Grace, you got anything to leave us with today?
Yes, you guys have a great night. We love you. Bye.
Aww. I wanted to give y'all a shout out. I really believe in what y'all are doing, and I am grateful that y'all are creating this platform, because the reach that you have no idea of how it's going to go bigger and beyond your wildest imagination. Even when you have moments of doubt or fear or not thinking that the exposure is there, it will come. Don't stop. Continue doing what you're doing, because you're doing it for a purpose and you're being used as a vessel. This platform will change lives. This platform will be a game changer. This platform will help women know that they are seen, that they are heard. So don't ever stop doing your podcast. Don't ever stop reaching out to women. Don't ever stop being who you are. You all are lights. Literally talking to all of you, everybody is good energy, good vibes, great personalities, very genuine. And you can tell when you see a person. I can read people, and all of y'all are genuine. So God bless all of you. May everything you touch turn into gold. That's all I got.
Oh, I needed that.
On that
I'm about to
note-
start the week off. She talked about she had a good week. I'm about to go into this week.
Yeah, I really appreciate y'all. I really do.
Thank you.